Yeah.
And welcome back on this Friday morning. A house full this morning. Let's quickly go over that forecast. Almost 60 degrees out there, so quite nice. Temperatures around 81 today. Weather Channel saying about 20% chance of showers. Tomorrow looks like we'll bump up to 40% chance of those scattered showers, so keep an umbrella close. Carried on into Sunday for 30% chance of those showers for several days next week. There's your forecast, sticking around in the 60s for the lows.
And the best-looking sheriff in the United States joins
doubt.
us this morning.
Watch it now.
No doubt.
Sheriff Anna
Blakely will
Franklin.
be all over that now.
Oh, he's not the best looking.
Yeah, a whole lot better looking than Mike Blakely, I can tell you that. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. How are
Thanks
y'all
for
this
getting up, and
morning?
Lonnie drug you over. Lonnie says that we got to get your daughter up here to sing.
Oh, yeah, we'd love that. She'd love it.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
tell her to get up early.
Hours.
Yeah, she's kind of like me. She's a late night girl, but not so much in the early. So I just stayed up all night last night. That's made it easier.
Well, I know you weren't up partying all night.
No.
You might have been busting up some
It
parties.
was somebody else's party.
Ain't that always the case?
That's the case.
What's going on in Morgan County?
Man, just some of the same, unfortunately. We're still out trying to make things better for where we live, and right now we're doing a lot of the gun talk things. And
What is the deal on that?
well, we've got the new law. It started in effect August 1st, and for most people, they're just wanting to know what are the differences, what are the changes, where you are allowed to carry openly and concealed, and what you need a permit for, what you don't need a permit for, that kind of thing. And so we're out throughout the county talking to folks and trying to answer their questions about different specifics they have. And, you know, it depends on who you talk to. Some folks think it's the greatest thing in the world, and some thinks they're just appalled. So we're just kind of trying to dissect what for the average folks it's
So
going to
what's
be.
your take on it? I know what Mike's is.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like the average folk. There's some parts of it that I think was a good thing and needed to be clarified, just as far as stopping the conversation about whether Alabama was an open carry or not an open carry. I mean, they made it very clear to everybody that Alabama is now an open carry state. Public places and property not your own, you're allowed to carry openly without a permit. For some folks, I've got some issues with not having to run background checks for people that are allowed to openly carry, but I understand that they, you know, that's the law, and once it becomes the law, we're the sheriff.
I know that Sheriff Blakely is selling signs that you can put up at your business. Now, is it up to a restaurant owner not to allow a gun in his place? What if somebody want to walk in with a gun on the
Well,
sign?
that's the
Scare all the
individual business
customers.
owners. Just
Okay,
like
so they
can
can
put-
deny them.
Just like they can put no shirt, no shoes, no guns if they want to. If they feel like that's what they need to do, they have that right as a property owner to deny anyone access for whatever reason, as long as it's not discriminatory in practice. And basically what happens is that you can't get in trouble for having the gun. What you get in trouble for is once they ask you to leave, you're in violation of trespass laws.
Oh.
So I tell folks all the time, look, we're not arresting you because you got a gun. We're arresting you because you're staying somewhere where you're not wanted.
Has that happened
I mean,
yet?
you're still going to jail.
Has
but-
that happened yet?
No, everybody's been good so far. I mean, we've kind of gone through for the last 2 months and held meetings all over all of the community centers throughout the fire departments. They've been great to do that. We've had standing room only crowds at every one of them, and we've talked to folks about that and explained, look, you do have a right to carry a weapon. You have a Second Amendment right to protect yourself and your family, but that property owner also has the right to do what they feel like is best for their business. And if they ask you to cover your weapon, or they ask you to take your weapon back to your vehicle while you're shopping in their facility, then you need to understand that your rights stop where their rights start, and let's not get into that. So far, we have not had a major problem in Morgan County.
Are you got any opinion on Attorney General Holder's deal about reducing drug sentencing because they're just
Too crowded.
it's too crowded?
Boy, you just want to slam me with this stuff this morning. You know, I guess one of the things that we've focused on really, really hard.
Now, you're having a lot of success in drug court.
We are.
Yes.
We're having success in drug court. And I think that alternate programs are really important for the people that qualify. I think putting people in alternate programs when already it hadn't worked is probably not a good idea. But I think if we could get them early and we have alternate sentencing.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, all right.
We're having a babysit this morning, too. Can I get a substitute in here?
That is.
Bring the real mama in here to beat it, Brat. Both of you.
One of the things that we have found and that we've got statistics on, luckily, after I've been there for a couple of years, is that our our arrest rates for drugs charges, for narcotics charges, are higher than they've ever been in Morgan County. And this year and last year, our other property crimes, violent crimes, and everything else subsequently have gone down almost a third.
Wow.
So we have always known as law enforcement officers, and the general public knows it too. You know, the folks that are out there breaking into your car are the same ones that are cooking dope and selling dope and using dope and, you know, committing those crimes because they have an addiction problem. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so we said if we can work on the drug end of it and we can try and deal with that situation, then they're not going to be out in your community committing these crimes, and that is working. But for people that have already attempted drug court, they have already gone through the gamut of the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth arrest.
They don't want help.
Hey, I've got a question.
They should not be
I
subject
talked to a
that.
kid the other day, 37 years old, got a felony on his record, cannot get a job, and his probation officer threatens to send him back to jail. He served 3 years in prison for a drug charge because he can't get a job, yet he says, I can't get a job because I got a felon on my...
Right.
What do those people do?
Well, that's one of the things that we're looking at in Morgan County from the Morgan County jail aspect. That is a very real problem. We do not have follow-through. You know, we do not have that post-secondary care. You can't expect
He
these
says he
folks-
feels like
Less of a man.
less a man because he cannot get a job.
Right. And you can't expect the situation to change if you're in the same situation you were before you went in jail.
Yeah.
So what we have started doing is...
If nobody helps you,
Nobody helps
you're
you.
going to revert back to where you were.
We're doing work program in jail.
Let me
And
ask you one other question.
It is working. We're getting people to have jobs after they leave the jail.
That's
Do you
good.
think marijuana will ever be legalized in Alabama?
You know, I can't say. I didn't think a lot of things would ever be legalized in Alabama.
You didn't think Adams would ever go in either, probably.
I would have never thought that some of the things that are happening now would happen. So I can't even think about that, you know. But
Well, when are you up for re-election?
you know, I started thinking the other day, we're getting there. Next year's election.
Next year, right?
Next year.
So you're on the same deal with Mike, yeah.
Yes, we're all on
Okay,
the same
well,
thing with the
good.
governor. So
You've done a great job
we're
down that
fixing to
way.
have to get started with that too. I don't know when you work and you campaign. I mean, that
Well, you're arresting everybody, trying to keep everybody good and clean down there.
Don't you
Now
worry
you got
about losing those votes.
we don't. Yeah.
You'll have to come on TV.
That's what they said.
You'll have to come
you
on TV more often.
I guess so.
Well, Anna, thanks for coming up. Great seeing you this month.
Thank
Appreciate
you
Lonnie
so
getting you to
much.
come
I
up here so
appreciate
early.
it.
And if you need us for
Great
anything,
job.
let us know.
Thanks. Y'all have
All
a
right,
great
Sheriff
day.
Anna Franklin, Morgan County. We'll take a break. We'll come back, talk to the band in just a moment, talk how you need to list your house.
Yes,
and
you
we'll
do.
talk some more football in just a moment. Let's take a break. Y'all, hang on.